Hi everyone, and welcome to another night of CANZ racing, and we're up to round 4 here. We have missed a couple of rounds due to a few busy nights, but that's alright, we're back into it and we're ready to go now. So we've got round 4. This is a new format again. Been trying a few new formats this season, and this one is the qualifying format. So what we're going to have is a 6 lap sprint for the grid type race, followed by a main race and then a half distance reverse grid. So with the race for the grid, the lineup is going to be based on current championship standing order, and we will find that out. I think once we get the we see how the grid lines up, we'll go with that there, because at the moment we don't have the information in front of me to sort that one out. But we're just waiting on one more driver to join us, and if you're watching the stream, share it out and get other people that are interested in online racing to have a look. We've obviously got spots available on the grid, as you can see. We've got a decent lineup tonight. One or two missing from the start of the season, Erebus and Actron. Not sure what the go is with Erebus, but we believe Actron has decided not to continue racing. So here's Wobegon just jumping in now. Once he selects his car, I think we'll be good to go. So once again, we've had 2 rounds since. I know from round 3 at the Nürburgring, Drifter won both races, and he would be leading the championship at the moment, followed very closely by Catters, who got podiums once again. I think he's got podiums for every race so far this year, so still going to be a close battle, but I think Catters really needs to get a couple of wins up his sleeve, and he's hoping tonight will be the night for it. And a new face as far as streaming since the first round, and that is Hot Commentator, also known as Mr. B. Hickey. You might have seen, if you had watched Highboy's stream and seen any other names popping up, that's the change there. And just currently having some issues with Wobegon joining the lobby. We'll just sit tight and wait. And we'll just see if we can, I'll see if I can bring up some info on some of the stats while we're waiting. And I think we just had another dropout again, disconnecting from the lobby. So all the drivers are ready to go, and I mean this is the first format for all of these guys. I think maybe they're going to go ahead, just finalising the grid by the look of that. We may have to go ahead, and Woby will most likely start from the rear of the grid, which probably wouldn't be the worst thing. Alright, so on to Monza we go. As you'll see, we've got, so this is the qualifying. As I was, sorry, just trying to find those stats, link wasn't working, but as I was saying, this is the first time for this type of qualifying format. So Hot Commentator obviously starting last in the championship, followed by Dragon, Chaos and Dragon. So again, this is in order from lowest on the championship table to the top. Shepdog in the middle of the running, Highboy up at the pointy end there with Scavenger, and then Catters, and obviously Drifter. I believe Wobegon's probably somewhere ahead of Highboy and Shepdog, as in lower on the championship. So let's get this underway. And I think he's stalled there. Not sure if they were going for a warm-up lap for a second there, but Hot Commentator stalled on the grid and currently following Unused Dragon there. So they go into the tight chicane here at the start of the track. Always one for accidents, but they've got through pretty well. It's 2 wide, 3 wide. Oh, someone's just slid out a bit. I think that was Drifter. All bit of contact at the back. Hot Commentator involved there. And I believe Drifter has fallen back a bit. Scavenger's made a big move. He's up to 3rd place. So he's made heaps of ground on that first part of the track. Oh, bit of bump there into Doc as they head into the chicane. He's just run a little bit wide. Catters monstering in behind. Yeah, we'll just see there Dragon currently in 1st place and got a bit of a buffer there. And Scavenger, oh, sorry I missed that bit there, but he's dropped back, so a little bit of a moment, must have gone off the track. As they head into Ascaria, and we can see now Doc's still up at the top there. 6 laps of this, so it's a decent amount of time for any of these drivers to gain some ground. Catters up in 4th place at the moment, Hot Commentator in 7th. And we'll just change our view. We've got Highboy in 8th, Chaos at the back at the moment. And we'll head up to Doc and we'll have a look and see how Doc is going. For Osgear Motorsport, again, he's teamed up with Catters, so these two guys are doing very well so far. Drifter's managed to get up into 3rd place, so he's continuing on his strong ways. Dragon up ahead with a bit of a gap, and then a gap back. So a bit of jostling for position has given these two a little bit of room, but Drifter right up the back of Doc now. Catters just lost a bit of traction coming out of the chicane. Alright, and see Drifter now alongside Doc. Yeah, it's a bit of a tight one. He's got the speed. Doc's not letting him go without a fight there. Side by side, they've done well there not to make contact. Excellent racing. And Doc has got the line on into the left-hander up ahead. Will Drifter push it? And he's made some room there. Shepdog up into 4th place at the moment. Cat has dropped back a bit. I think that was when he lost a bit of traction back on the at the start of this lap. Dragon still with a decent lead. Doc's probably helping him a little bit. He is slower than Drifter. And it's really starting to bunch up the field just behind Drifter. If Doc can just manage to hold on here, he can make for some very interesting racing as they head towards the halfway mark of this sprint for the grid. And once again, Drifter, he's just getting really good traction out of the corners. And you see now Shepdog trying to get a bit of it. That's going to bunch up. Scavenger and Catters make contact one after the other. And Scavenger bogged that one down, so he's lost a bit of ground now. And Highboy still with a bit of work to do. Not sure what happened to him. He was probably in about 6th or 7th at one point there. But he's down the back there at the moment. Hot Commentator in last position. Oh, Doc off the track. And they're climbing through the spots now. Doc dropping right back. Highboy up to 5th. Now Doc back in 7th. Shepdog, sorry, in 7th. Doc in 6th. A bit of change going on left, right and centre at the moment. Chaos is right up there with these two guys as well. And we'll just go to Dragon. We'll see how the front runner's going now. And just keeping it tight around that corner. Drifter's starting to make some ground on him. He's going to feel the pressure very quickly as Drifter draws in closer. There's a bit of a decent gap back to Catters now. And heading towards Parabolica. Nice control of the car. Drifter, he's just got the track nailed at the moment. That car looks like it's on rails. He has been doing quite a lot of practice, probably more so than some of the other teams and some of the other drivers. And he's only got another 2 laps to go. He's still doing pretty well. If he can just maintain this, he might come away with a pole position, and that would be an amazing accomplishment for Dragon in his second year of racing with CANZ. Drifter is going to push very hard to get that spot though. Catter's currently behind him in 3rd, and he has, I believe it was Shepdog, no, Scavenger right behind him. He's just keeping it pretty steady. If he can maintain this speed, he will get through. He just doesn't need to make any mistakes. And I know that's easier said than done. Now going into Lesmo. Just making sure he's nailing all the apexes at the moment. And Drifter edges closer yet again. And I believe the positions have settled out now. So currently got Highboy in 5th, Doc in 6th, Shepdog followed by Chaos with Hot Commentator in last position. I forgot to mention that my partner in crime, DeadX, isn't here to co-commentate at the moment. Or with the missing the last 2 rounds. He's taken a further break, but hopefully we can get him back on board and helping out again at the next round, which I believe is in a couple of weeks' time, but we'll confirm that before the end of this stream. But Drifter, now he's putting on the pressure. Dragon's just got to maintain his racing line, defend and stop him from getting the easy pass. But he's side by side. He must have got a great exit out of Parabolica to get past him that easily. Obviously there's a bit of a draft, but Dragon will be a little bit disappointed that he couldn't defend that for longer. Still another lap to go. Oh, Scavenger with the pass. I'm not sure whether he was passing or Catters was, but they've connected, and that's going to hurt their chances of getting ahead of Dragon. which will mean that they would start behind him. Dragon currently sitting in position 2 and would be starting off the front row of the grid for the race ahead in the main race. But in saying that though, Catters and Scavenger do have the speed. Scavenger dropped back further, so I'm not sure what's happened there. Looked like Catters just brushed the fence on the way through that last corner. And we're just following at the moment. I believe Highboy is right behind him. Yes, he is. So it feels just slightly spread at the moment. Catters looking to chase down Dragon. He's only got a lap and a bit to go. Coming up to Ascaria. Dragon goes a little bit wide. Highboy's taking that one really cleanly. Catters just another bit of wheel spin. He's obviously having a few issues with the rear end of that car stepping out on him quite often, we've seen so far. Perhaps his race tune will correct that. Even though we are in a race, I dare say they would have gone with some level of qualifying setup for this. And he's starting to close the gap now. Scavenger dropping back to 6th. So he'll be pretty disappointed with the outcome so far. Not sure if what will happen if any penalties arise from this. It isn't actually a championship race in that there's points awarded, but obviously there will be some stewarding process involved in case there are any issues. But Catter's now looking to press for second position. Dragon just slipping out. He's lost a bit of ground. Catter's on the inside. And Dragon follows him through. He's cut a bit of the track there to stay in front of him. Not sure that's 100% legal, but he's sticking with it, I'm sure. Highboy now ranging up on the back of Catters. This is getting very interesting with less than half a lap to go. Coming out of Lesmo. Highboy side by side with Catters. He's pushed a bit wide. I'm not sure whether there was any contact there. Highboy looked a little bit out of control, but Catters is dropping back now. He's just lost another couple of spots. Yep, Shepdog is through, so Catters back to 6th. Would like to see a replay of that little moment, but I think there's been quite a few of those, in fairness, right across this race, which isn't coming as too much of a surprise, given the starting order with your slower drivers at the front. And we'll follow Drifter in as he is miles ahead of the pack. Well, I shouldn't say miles, but he's got a decent lead up on everybody else, and this could be a sign of things to come for the night as he crosses the line. And we'll start from pole position. And we'll see there Dragon holding to the second place. No, Highboy's managed to pip him for it. Look at the finishing time there between the two, just on your left hand side. Highboy snatches the front row of Dragon. That was a finish. So a few disappointed drivers in all of that, I am sure. Alright, so we'll just have a few moments while they organise the grid based on the finishing order. Unfortunately, as I spectate, I'm unable to preview. Well, I think I can. I'll just check. Yeah, there we go, I can. So the previous results, I just cannot save a replay. That's the only issue. So we can see there the finish time there with Highboy and Dragon was unbelievable. I thought Dragon had that. And then all of a sudden, Highboy just skipped him right at the last moment. Shepdog on the second row of the grid with Dragon, Scavenger and Catters, the two of the top runners behind Drifter, way back in 5th and 6th, row 3. But in saying that, Scavenger managed to jump about 6 spots in the first turn in that race. Just a few incidents caused some issues as they went along. Chaos improved from 9th up to 7th, and Hot Commentator starting from 1st will now start from the rear of the grid, along with Doc, who didn't have the best of races. He was going all right at one point there, but I think maybe a mistake or an incident caused him to lose a few spots. Very hectic. And I think we might be close to getting underway for the main race. So we just note we've still got the lap counter to change. So it'll be very interesting here. Now we've got Highboy also. I mean, he is 4th, I believe, in the championship. So we've got 1st and 4th coming off of the front row of the grid. Then we've got 2 of the mid-pack races in row 2 with Shepdog and Dragon. And then we've got our next serious contenders in Scavenger and Catters just behind them. So I've got a couple of guys sort of out of line as far as the championship order goes, which will make it interesting. They're going to push pretty hard. They want to get past them, because if they don't, Drifter could sail away very quickly, and Catters is going to be very aware of that. But probably more importantly, though, they do need to make sure they just collect some decent points when the going isn't going their way. And we can see they're 14 laps, so it's a pretty decent race. Settle in for just shy of half an hour before we do the reverse grid race, which will again bring a bit of chaos like we've just seen before. So they've got to do 1 pit stop during the race. Just waiting for a few drivers to ready up, and we'll get underway for race 8 of the season. So we'll see races 8 and 9 with points on offer. I think the just sorting out their tunes at the moment. And I'm just going to try once again to see if I can bring up some data on the drivers and see if there's any other underlying scenarios that could be divulged out of them. All ready to go. Just waiting for our timer to click up. And just going to get them underway. Right, here we go. Main race for round 4 at Monza GP circuit. Alright, so as we mentioned, Drifter from the start, Highboy managing to get that awesome finish in. He was looking down and out at about lap 3, but managed to start off the front row of the grid. Shepdog there in 4th, and Scavenger for SDR. And Catters coming out of 6th place, so they're going to want a good start, a good clean start. Chaos Theory for Forza, along with Dragon, he's his teammate, and Doc teaming up with Catters. Once again, Hot Commentator on his own at the moment with Pertec, followed by Woebegone in last position. Alright, and away they go. Highboy off to a slow start. Shepdog out the side. Catters has jumped into the middle there. And just coming into the chicane. Oh, someone's gone off. Shepdog flow through. And I think Scavenger just got turned. No, it wasn't Scavenger. It must have been Wobegon that got turned around. Or Hot Commentator. I couldn't tell from there. Not sure if they're going to bring in a safety car or not. Catters is back to 7th. Scavenger up in 4th position. And yeah, they're bringing in the safety car, so just waiting to see who is going to go into the pit at the moment. Drifter leading from Unused Dragon and Highboy, so they've got through cleanly, and it seems Scavenger has 2. Cat has lost a couple of spots. Doc is up into 5th, so he hasn't done too badly at all. So I'm not sure that anyone is pitting. Would have thought Shepdog might need that. He hit the wall pretty hard. He seemed to have gone off to the right hand side and then flew across into the tyre wall. I'm not sure how he didn't collect a few cars in doing that one. So I think they're just sort of bringing everybody back into line, and then they're going to restart the race then by the look of that. So just while they're going through this virtual safety car, Shepdog there in 10th spot now, even though he started from 4th, so he'll be a bit disappointed in that. Just having a look though, Highboy and Scavenger are very close on the championship table, but there is a decent gap, over 100 odd points between those two and Catters and Drifter. So at the moment it is a 2-horse race. But anything can happen. So far Drifter's had some pretty good luck with the reverse grids as they head out of Parabolica. I believe they'll start as they cross the start-finish line here. And as they say, safety cars breed safety cars. Hopefully they can get through this turn cleanly. Interestingly, in the sprint for the grid just previously, we had a very clean run through the first turn. And away they go. Catters looking for a jump on Chaos. And then Drifter leading them through. Scavenger going defensive there. Catters up into 5th, so he's managed to jump a few spots. Highboy staying in 3rd. It's a little bit frantic there. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th at the moment. Drivers changing. Shepdog's got Wobegon on the restart there. Scavenger's maintained 4th position. And Highboy is currently still behind Dragon. So Drifter's got the opportunity here with Dragon right behind him to make some ground. But Dragon's sticking with him at the moment. Still jostling for positions going through Lesmo. Oh, Hot Commentator's gone wide. That's allowed Shepdog through, and Catters back in 8th. Not sure what's happened there. He's dropping back again to 9th. Chaos hitting a sign on the way through Lesmo. And at the moment it's settled down at the front end here. Catters back up into 9th. And we'll just change views. We'll just have a look and see if I can spot any other battles going on. Highboy and Scavenger look like they were about to duke it out. Although I would have imagined they'd be ranging up on Dragon, but not yet. Chaos and Shepdog fighting it out. Cat is back into 10th, so he's having a disastrous start to this. Scavenger having a look on the inside of Highboy, and I think he might have the drive out of the corner. Highboy must have gone a little bit deep under brakes for this to happen. Side by side, Highboy's got a bit of an edge. And Scavengers wisely just rein back in behind Highboy as they approach the first of the chicanes. Smart racing there. And it's starting to bunch up at the front end. And Drifter not really pulling away just yet, but might be just finding his rhythm before he starts to nail a few decent laps. Put a few together. We'll just switch over to Highboy now, and for those watching the stream, Highboy is also streaming his point of view. I don't know if you've got decent internet that can handle 2 streams at once, but he's streaming on Beam, and he's still holding Scavenger off, and he's starting to close up to Dragon. Drifter not pulling away too well, so Dragon's doing a very good job. And Scavenger, no, it's Highboy that's gone wide off the road. That's a massive, massive moment, and he's lost 2 positions now. He's going to be pretty angry with himself after that. Going so well up in 3rd. Now back down to 6th, and that's how quickly it can happen. And just shows that Drifter stays out in front. He's going to be able to take it nice and easy and not make a mistake. And we'll go to Dragon now, who's currently sitting in 2nd. But not for long. Scavenger on the outside into Parabolica. Dragon pushing a little bit too hard. He's lost traction. He's going to lose out on the exit now. And Scavenger into 2nd and in hot pursuit of Drifter, who is a couple of seconds up on Scavenger at the moment. And we'll just have a look now. And we'll just see the race overview at the moment. So Shepdog back up into 4th, Chaos into 5th. I haven't been keeping an eye on the pit lane as yet, but there's a chance someone may have pitted. It's pretty early. 4 laps in, you'd probably be looking more like, laps 7 to 10. Depending on where you are on the track at the moment, if you want to go for a very long stint or not. Normally Highboy drops into the pit early. And it looks like he has. That's 41 seconds. So Catters, Hot Commentator and Highboy have pitted, looking at those times there. So the field's going to look a little bit sparse at the moment, but the fight's still on. Shepdog catching up to Dragon real quick, and he's on the back of him now. Dragon trying to hold on to that podium position at the moment. Still a long way to go, but Shepdog looking very strong. And just weighing up, and he's gone for the move into Parabolica on the inside this time. Scavenger did pass Dragon on the outside. Bit of contact through there, but Shepdog's managed to make the move. No damage done to either driver. So Dragon not doing too bad at all. No mistakes or anything like that, but just hasn't quite got the pace in the Nissan at the moment. And we'll just have a look now. See Drifter cycling through at the moment. So Scavenger not too far behind, so Drifter not making too many moves just yet. Unfortunately, because we didn't have a normal qualifying, it's a bit hard to gauge exactly how fast or slow some of these drivers are. As far as lap times go, so coming through Lesmo now, Scavenger looks like he's closing the gap now, and he's got his eyes locked now. I think this is where Scavenger gets into that mode where he finds all that speed that he wasn't finding in previous seasons with CANZ and RGL. going through a scar area, and he is definitely closing the gap. And if he can just get that bit closer, he can start to put the pressure on Drifter. And we have seen before, with enough pressure applied, it can force Drifter to make that mistake that he normally doesn't do. He's pretty rock solid when he's out on his own, and that's where he's found himself quite a few times this season, about 3 or 4 seconds up the road. So it's very important for Scavenger to make some ground on him. He knows that. That's what he's there to do, but now more than ever, because with the pit stop still in play, he could do enough to keep Drifter guessing as to what will happen next if Scavenger's to pit first. See who makes that move. And Scavenger, a little bit deep under brakes there. He's going to lose a bit of time. Look like he ranged up very close to Drifter then, but that was why. Deep under brakes. And Shepdog doing pretty well. He's up into third. And Catters and Highboy are having a bit of a battle down the back end at the moment. And we'll just have a quick look and see how that's shaping up at the moment. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I'll just check. We'll check with Dragon to see whether he's made his pit stop. Yep, he has made 1 of 1. So there you go. So Dragon is in position at the moment, right? And once a few more of the guys at the front pit, we'll start to see where everyone sits. And Dragon was in third, so whether he's gone a bit slower or Highboy and Catters have done well to catch up, I'm not too sure yet. But Highboy was a little bit wide, but doesn't seem to have lost anything there through Lesmo. A nice little battle, a few battle packs going on. But we'll stick with the front here because we want to see how these pit stops play out. You can see Scavenger still pushing hard to keep on the back of Drifter, and he's doing very well. He just lost a little bit of ground, a bit of back wheel spin in the rear end of the car coming out of the first chicane. So at the moment we've got the Nissan Altima in first, followed by the Volvo for Scavenger. And then we've got our first Ford in Shepdog coming in third. And he's sticking with these guys, probably losing maybe 2/100 of a second. Sorry, 2/10 of a second a lap at the moment based on that gap. But doing pretty well, and I think that'll probably see him still in third once everything's been done and dusted. Chaos and Doc well behind, and behind even those that have pitted, so I'm not sure what's happened there, whether they've had further issues or not. Time's just corrected there. They're about 8 seconds behind, so Scavenger really pressing. We're up to the halfway mark of the race. We're not sure yet. One of them's going to blink. Maybe Drifter here. He's looking to pit, and Scavenger's going to follow him. So no games here. He wants to watch him all the way through. Not sure he's managed to make a bit of gains on the entry here. And Shepdog's followed them as well. And we've still got one more out on the track, which is Woebegone. So he's going to lead the race, but he is yet to pit. So watch Drifter coming out here, because that way we're going to see where the other 3 guys end up. That is Dragon, Highboy and Catters. And at this stage they're well behind these front runners. Scavenger right on the back of him here now. They're going to have cold tyres heading into the first chicane. Any amount of mistake could spell disaster for one of these guys. And Scavenger really pressing his case now. And the Highboy and that's starting to bunch up with these guys now. So as I mentioned, Shepdog managing to hold out on third place on corrected terms because Woebegone is still yet to pit out there in the lead of the race. So he'll lead the race for at least one lap. So he'll be pretty happy with that. And Scavenger all over the back of Drifter. This is what I was talking about. Pressure, pressure, pressure. If he doesn't make a mistake and fall behind, he could force Drifter to do that. Drifter just taking Lesmo a little bit better than Scavenger there, but they're going to have strong parts of the track and weak parts. I think Scavenger at the moment seems to have the power under braking. Heading into Ascaria now. Drifter going a bit wide. He's losing a little bit of his racing line through there. Managed to gather it up pretty nicely though. No real damage done at the moment. Scavenger still shadowing him very closely. So we've just got 6 laps remaining for this main race. Once again, Drifter is currently the championship leader. And Scavenger really needs to get this win in the bag so that he can actually make some inroads towards both him and Catters. Highboy up into 4th place at the moment. And Catters in 5th. So the cream, as they say, is rising to the top at the moment. And Drifter not pulling away in the slightest, so I'm not sure whether this track just isn't one of his strong suits compared to some of the other ones in the previous rounds. And we can see just there in the background, Highboy is starting to gain on Shepdog as well. We'll just keep an eye on that. If it gets a little bit closer, we may just take a quick look and see how that battle's forming up. But at the moment, we'll stick with the leaders. Scavenger once again, he's managed to get that ground right on the back of Drifter. Chaos Dragon behind Catters, followed by Chaos, and then Woebegone in 8th. Doc in 9th, and Hot Commentator. Not sure whether he's still circulating around the track, but he's down 3 laps, which may suggest that he's retired from the race. But this battle is only heating up even more. And I believe this is part. Ascaria must be one of those strong parts for Scavenger, along with Parabolica. Right on the back of Drifter, he's just going to have to find some sort of way past the Forza car as they head down this main straight to begin lap number 10. And it would be interesting to know exactly how things panned out in the previous rounds, but I remember from the first one we were guaranteed just about somewhere a decent battle among these drivers. Now, I'm not sure whether moves Catters up to 4, so I'm missed whether or not anything happened with Highboy. He's back in 5th, so maybe a mistake perhaps. But Scavenger, he's got the speed, he's got everything there, he just needs to find a way past. And Drifter will not make that easy at all. He fell on a very similar line through that chicane. And at the moment with Highboy and Catters sort of fighting over 4th and 5th, they're not really making any inroads towards getting a podium position, and Shepdog may come away with that, which will be a great return for Chaos and I believe Shepdog. I'm not sure now, I'll have to go back and check whose team Shepdog is on. We do have a few Firesars out there, but the Drifter isn't on. I don't believe he's on a team with Chaos and Dragon. I believe those two are a team. So anyway, going through Ascaria now, and it looks like Scavenger hasn't quite got the exit nailed, so he's a little bit further back, but under brakes will catch him a little bit. And now as they head through Parabolica for the 10th time so far, Drifter managing to eke out a little bit of a gap, and now it's up to Scavenger to close that gap again. He needs to be able to hang on to the back of Drifter a lot longer than what he has to apply the pressure to make him make an error or find that opportunity to make the nice clean pass that he needs. And once again under brakes, the Volvo seems to be very strong. And he's got a good exit here. If he can just push wide, just get Drifter to try and defend. As they head into the next chicane, here is a passing opportunity. Will Scavenger go for a dive? It's probably a bit risky. Although he's right up the back, he's actually giving him a little tap, I think. Unsettled Drifter as they've headed through the chicane. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to get any decent exit out to capitalise on that. And look at Shepdog closing up on these two as they fight for position. It's slowing them down. Shepdog is catching up, and if they're not careful, Scavenger doesn't make a move soon. He's going to have Shepdog in the back of his mirrors, and he'll have more than enough on his plate to deal with. Cat is meanwhile not with a dominant amount of speed to make grounds like he has in previous seasons. It's one thing probably noticed so far. In last year's series, he had all the pace, and even from well back, he always managed to gain on any driver very quickly. You see it very noticeably, but at the moment, just not able to make any massive inroads on Shepdog. So, with just 3 laps to go, if the fighting continues, this could get even more interesting, as Shepdog is starting to put in some very quick laps. Yeah, just word on the radio, I think Doc's just had some sort of issue. Just let his pit crew know. Meanwhile, Wobie's up in 8th, Doc is in 9th. And yes, looking at the stats they've come down. Oh, Scavenger, sorry, too busy looking at placings there, and Scavenger's managed to get him. My apologies, but great move by Scavenger into the chicane. And now can he go on with it? He had the speed, he was all over the back of Drifter. Can he put together a few good laps? If he can get a couple of seconds on him, he could just about defeat Drifter in a psychological battle. Shepdog cutting through that chicane pretty finely. He can taste something as well now that he's seen Drifter lose a position. Cat is still sliding the back end of his car. Now it's up to Drifter to respond. And we've seen Scavenger make a few mistakes so far in the qualifying race. So Drifter should know that if he can return the favour and put in a lot of pressure and get on the back of his car, it could happen for him too. This isn't over yet, that's for sure. Shepdog really aggressive on these turns. It tends to happen when you can smell blood or taste it. I think that's what Shepdog's got in his nostrils right now. And he wants to not settle just for third. He wants second or even first. Anything could happen. A mistake here and he could skip right through into first place. He's positioned very well. Drifter now back, pushing Scavenger now, heading down into the main straight. And he's coming up on his side there. He must have had a bit of a draft, but he's on the wrong side for the chicane. Scavenger should be able to defend this pretty easily. Heading in, we can see that he's just braked slightly earlier than Drifter, but he should be able to maintain position, which he has. Now Drifter's got an issue, and it's called Shepdog. What a great race we're seeing here right now, guys. This is brilliant racing by all 3 drivers. Let's hope they can keep it clean all the way through. And Shepdog now, look at that, under brakes the Ford. He's gone a little bit too hard. I think he missed his braking marker a little bit too close to Drifter. Cat is starting to make a bit of gains. Highboy in the background. I don't think he's going to be able to challenge for any positions unless another mistake is made by some drivers. Scavenger not getting away from Drifter, that's for sure. I did wonder whether or not he might be able to put a bit of a buffer between the two, but it's not happening. Shepdog just recovering from that moment in the second chicane where he just sort of braked a bit late and almost made contact with Drifter. So just avoiding that contact, send him a bit wide. Once again, aggressive through that chicane and just stepping it a little bit too far in the middle part. So he's lost a bit of ground again, but Drifter all over the back of Scavenger. And Scavenger going defensive once again into Parabolica. And this could hurt his drive out of the turn. Drifter looking for a bit of a crisscross. I think there might have been a touch, perhaps, because Drifter was unable to bring that out of the turn as quick as what he would have probably liked. But he's got a lot of drive in a straight line, I think, with this Nissan, that's for sure. But Scavenger equal to the task. On the final lap of the race. This has been so good, I almost thought... Oh, contact! Tapped the back of Scavenger. And now looking to make a bit of a move on him because of that. But I think Scavenger's got a little bit of ground on him through the inside. And I think Scavenger just lit up the radio. He's having a bit of a moment with his pit crew about that contact. You can see the damage on the front of Drifter's car. Shepdog cutting that corner massively. And Drifter looking for the pass. He's got the draft. Heading through Lesmo. Can Scavenger hold on, or can Drifter make that miracle pass and get another win? That would be 3 wins in a row. There is absolutely nothing in this one, and Shepdog again, like I said, any mistake here in any attempt to pass, he could capitalise on it and snatch another position or two. So Drifter's going to have to think his way through this. He doesn't want to push too hard. He's got a second. He's leading the championship. He doesn't need to win. He wants to win. They all want to win, but any mistake here and he could be really regretting it. So heading to Parabolica for the final time. Shepdog, I think he's going to make a little bit of a shot at this. Not close enough. Scavenger looks like he's going to hold on for a brilliant win for Second Degree Racing. I think that might be the first for the season for him. As they cross the finish line, what a brilliant race. Well done to all drivers, including especially these three here. Awesome race. Well done, and we can see Caddis crossing the line in 4th. And we'll just skip back and see where the other guys are. They might be crossing the line by now. And here you go, Chaos in 7th. Dragon finished in 6th. Highboy was 5th. Woebegone, and not too far behind. Chaos will finish in 8th. And Doc right behind him. He'll finish 9th. Excellent race. That was very intense and brilliant to watch. Well done to everyone. Congratulations to Scavenger on his race win, and Shepdog for a podium position, getting the 3rd. That's good points haul for him and Highboy. And obviously all this is positions are final, but points can be removed if any incidents are reviewed and found to be offending against the rules, and that any contact issues. Very aggressive over some of those corners, Shepdog. A few others as well I think we'd seen, especially in the first qualifying race. So next up we have race number 9. So this is a reverse grid based off of the finishing order of that race. So again, we are looking at potential craziness And just while they're sorting themselves out, we'll have a quick look now at the points and some of the finishing. So at the moment, Drifter has won 3 races. Sorry, 4, because the Hockenheim one was 125 points for each race, sorry. So Drifter has won 4, Catters has won 2 races, and Scavenger has won a race, so that's his 2nd win so far for the season. And again, probably the Catters finishing on the podium in every race except for this one. So it's the first time he hasn't made the podium. And meanwhile, Highboy's managed to notch up a couple of seconds, and then it's been 3rds and 4ths. So looking at the points, though, there was less than 60 points separating Catters and Drifter. So that's that gap's just widened a little bit now after that race. And Scavenger there, he'll have just grabbed another 50 points. So he's still a fair bit off. Highboy will have, I think, where did he finish? About 5th, I believe, 5th or 6th. So again, starting to see a few little gaps forming in the championship chase. But again, this race could bring anything. It would be great to see some of these guys at the back end of the field hold on for the full 7 laps and notch up a win, and see some of these fast guys not do so well. I say that because I was one of those guys at the back end of the grid and always hoped that I could notch up a win from one of these reverse grid races, but unfortunately my tendency was to find myself at the back of the grid even after starting at the front after about a lap. Alright, I think everybody's right. We're ready to begin the final race of the night. So again, if you watch stream, don't forget to check out the Screwed Gamers channel and subscribe to it. That way you'll get your notifications when we're streaming. We will try and stream every round of this series throughout the year, but there may be 1 or 2 that we miss, just like we have for rounds 2 and 3. But hopefully we don't miss too many more. Alright. So hot commentator after retiring from the first race will start from the front along with Doc. And then Woebegone, and I believe that's Chaos coming up next. Yes, indeed. So Dragon, Highboy sitting in the middle of the pack, followed by Catters. So the start is going to be absolutely crucial here. Scavenger's going to find it hard where he's starting from, unless there's a stall on the grid that sends a few cars left, right. And away they go. Commentators bogged down again, almost a collision. He's having some real issues getting that car started off the grid. Oh, there's contact. This is getting a bit crazy. Highboy out in the weeds. He's managed to regain control and will file in. That's probably not the worst outcome, although he did start from mid-pack. Oh, he's just been tapped. Commentators hit him from the side. That's no good for Highboy. Not sure whether he's copped some damage from that, but he won't be too happy about that. Meanwhile, Scavenger and Drifter haven't made any ground. Catters up into 5th at the moment. And we're going to give these guys a bit of airtime as Doc's made. Oh, what's happened with Dragon there? Oh, there's been some sort of chaos at the back there. Cat is up in a second. I'm not too sure what happened there. It looked like Dragon had started heading off the track and then he lost control. Someone trying to avoid him. I'm not sure whether they're going to call a safety car or not. Cat is off the side. I'm not sure what's going on behind there, but Doc is racing away with it. And sounds like they're still racing. No safety car happening there, but they're all bunched up except for Doc. If Doc can just hold it together, he's got a bit of a buffer. Chaos in second. He won't make it too easy for those guys to pass. Catters and Scavenger up into fourth. Drifter in fifth. So we've got the some of the main contenders there. Shep Highboy moving up pretty quickly up into seventh. And it's Dragon and Woebegone falling behind. So a lot of chaos there on the first lap. And all started in the first chicane where I think there was a bit of jostling for track space, which saw Highboy onto the weeds. He's managed to get back on and then got tapped by a commentator. But then I'm not sure what happened coming out of the next series of turns, but looked like a lot went wrong for a few drivers. Drifter now back, he's still sitting in fifth. But Cat is now starting the hunt for his teammate. And they will race for position. There won't be any team orders or anything going on here. Doc will want to win, but Cat is more so. Currently though, if Drifter maintains his position or improves it slightly, these guys aren't going to gain too much ground on his lead of the series. Doc just needs to hold it together and keep going for another 5 laps, and he could have himself a race win, which I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have expected at the start of the night. And he's got a fair chance here if Catters can defend his position well enough. Catters obviously hasn't got the pace of Scavenger or Drifter at this point in time. But if he can defend well though, Doc just making a bit of a mistake going through Ascaria. And we're just going to move back to Scavenger because there's a bit of a tight battle here for third place between him and Chaos. Drifter in fifth at the moment, so Chaos still sitting in there behind them. I'm not sure whether that was a pass by Scavenger into third. I believe it might be. So Chaos fighting for position. He's they're almost halfway through the race. And you can see now Shepdog Highboy just closing in on this pack. Oh, Shepdog going wide. Might have just made a mistake there. Highboy moves up past him in sixth spot behind Drifter. And looks like Drifter's looking to make a move on Chaos, and he might have successfully done that. You can see in the background there behind Scavenger. Now Doc's starting to lose ground, so not much separating the field at the moment. If Doc makes it a little bit hard for Catters to pass, you can see this entire field bunching up pretty quickly. So now Scavenger starting to show his speed. Drifter not too far behind. There's Chaos straight over that curb. But will Scavenger be able to put the pressure on Catters before he gets to Doc? That's the question. Drifter dropped back a little bit in that last chicane, and Chaos is all over the back of him again. He won't think twice about trying to pass him if there's an opportunity. Going through Parabolica now. You can just sense it. The intensity's rising as all these drivers draw close to each other again. passing the halfway mark. Not too many laps to go in this reverse grid race. Doc, the only remaining front runner from the start of the race, still there. Chaos sitting roughly where he was. And then the other guys have fallen behind the rest of these faster drivers. You can see that Scavenger up 7 places. Chaos has only lost 1. Hot Commentator's down 7. And Way We Gone's down 6. Unused Dragon, DNF. Not sure what's happened there. Didn't hear anything up on the radio, but fastest lap you can see there by Scavenger, 151. And look at this battle right here. Doc under immense pressure, and it's only going to get worse as Drifter gets closer as well. Shepdog and Highboy hoping this stays like this. They'll be able to bunch up. Catter's on the inside into Ascaria. He's got the pass, but can he make it cleanly? Doc has to push wide. Scavenger trying to put his nose in there. Wisely put it back because I don't think that was a really good place to try and make a move. He's got a good run on Doc out of here. Drifter now also buying into this. What an angry pack we have heading into Parabolica. Drifter just putting his nose next to Scavenger, and he's got him on the inside, but probably not the best drive. I'm not sure what happened to our camera there, but it hit the wall itself. Scavenger now on the inside of Doc. Under brakes, he might have him, but Doc's still got enough on him. And heading into the first chicane, he's just going to careful, no one wants to run into anybody. Doc, he's gone a little bit too hard. He's hit the wall, and now he's just going to drop right back. That's very disappointing. Only a couple of laps to go, and he's falling right back. That's pretty unfortunate for him. Catters would be disappointed too, his teammate, but at the same time too, out in the lead, and that's where he needs to stay along with Scavenger. They need to eke out some points from Drifter. Scavenger more so, but Drifter, he's trying to exact some revenge from the first race of the evening, looking to make a pass on Scavenger. Heading through Lesmo now, he takes a very tight line and gets his car in on the inside to put a bit of pressure on, but obviously loses a bit of speed on the exit. Not this time though. Catters is very happy with this at the moment. Those guys keep fighting. He's going to keep on moving away. 2 laps to go. He's got enough of a buffer. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he should take this one out comfortably. Meanwhile, Chaos doing a great job in 4th position. And I think Highboy's looking to rain on his parade. And Drifter just making a mistake. He's dropped off the back there of Scav. Heading into Parabolica, we've only got 2 more laps to go. And they've actually managed to close the gap a little bit on Catters, so I'm not sure whether Catters is still struggling with the rear end of that car. Will we see one last ditch effort from Scavenger to try and get another win? Or will he be happy with a second at this stage? No one yet to beat Scav's lap time of a 151. Oh, looks like someone on a pass through that chicane under brakes. Looked a little bit messy. I think that was Shepdog and Chaos. And Highboy dropped back a little bit into 6. I may have been there originally. So Drifter a little bit further back from Scavenger. And we'll actually have a look at that battle between Chaos and Shepdog. I'm not sure they're still close together. Yes, they are on the track. Highboy not too far behind. Shepdog looking for a pass now. He got a good exit, but that was probably because he cut that corner a little bit too harshly. Ooh, not the best place to probably make the pass yet. But he's managed to get it through there, and Chaos drops back to 5th and Shepdog up to 4th. So finishing this way, Shepdog with a 3rd and a 4th is a pretty good return for the round. Drifter making the pass on Scavenger. Might have been an error on the Scavenger's behalf. We'll go and check that out now. Yeah, I think he went off the track. Oh, big slide out from Scavenger. If he's not careful, Shepdog's ready to pounce in fourth. And we'll just follow Cutters here for the final. Go on board with him just for a little bit and watch him go through a lap of Monza. Not all of it, because this is the final lap, but we'll take a ride with him anyway for something different. And through the chicane there, put that through pretty nicely. Field just bunching up behind, but he's got a pretty good buffer here from Drifter, and Drifter making gains on Scavenger. So a bit of an even spread, as you can see just down there on the left hand side as we head into the second of the chicanes. Again, nice tighter return for Cutters. This will help regain some of the points he'd lost in the first race of the night, and should be able to get through without any major issues. And you can see Drifter pushing pretty hard. He is gaining on him very quickly, but there should be enough room for Cutters to take it nice and easy. Make sure that he nails those apexes. But one thing's for sure, Drifter's not going to die wondering as they head down towards Parabolic for the final time for the round. And again, I think Drifter's got a little bit of a wheel spin heading out of the exit of Ascaria, so losing a bit more ground. Cutters around Parabolica. He's going to claim a win for the night, and a good return for him in the end. It's salvaged something out of the evening. Didn't go so well in the first race, but this race he's managed to take out first place in the podium. So Drifter in behind him in second, Scavenger in third. Shepdog comes in with a strong finish with fourth. So a nice bucket of points for Shepdog. Chaos managed to hold on to fifth, Highboy in sixth, so he'll be a bit disappointed in that one. And meanwhile, Doc in seventh did alright. Hot Commentator managed to hold on to eighth, so still unsure what happened to Dragon, but part of live streaming with this sort of thing, you just don't know. So we'll just have a quick look at those race results for you before we finish off for the evening. And we can see there, Hot Commentator finishing 8th, Woebegone in 9th, and Unused Dragon with a DNF, so that'll be a bit disappointing for himself and Chaos. So SDR, even though Scavenger's doing pretty well, Woebegone just hasn't been able to get into the points as much as what he did the year before, the last 2 years. But hopefully he can come back stronger in the next round, and Highboy will also hope to get some better finishes in the upcoming rounds. So thank you once again for watching our stream of the Screw Gamers and CANZ Racing Community V8 Championship. Any interest in it, just contact us. Check out the website. All the info is just there on the right hand side, bottom right of the screen there. Check out our Facebook page. Subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you in the next round.